How's it going, everyone? It's been a hot minute since I've done one of these videos, but I wanted to get back to it because recently a tournament called the Kalahari Classic happened. It was a tournament in Ohio, really big one, like a 140 team capacity or something. And this tournament saw a lot of really top teams from the US be there. We saw Semicolon there, we saw Pybotics, we saw the Freedom Gladiators, and we saw Gears, and a bunch of other really good teams that I wanted to talk about for a while and look at. So this is going to be a commentary style video. I'm just going to be talking over the game, commentating, very traditional kind of stuff. An analysis of some of these games will be coming out probably in the next few days, so keep tuned for that if you want to see that. But let's get right into this first game. This first game actually includes a lot of time spent on setting up for the auto. Skip forward here because red gets to place last, right? So you can see that blue ends up here placing them both on the same side because they figure they have the best chance of being able to beat red for the middle goal. The thing about tipping points is very focused on the auto. If you win the auto, you have a huge advantage because you're up in goals. As you'll see in a lot of these games, is it's very much focused on getting up in goals and then just holding that advantage with turtling. So auto is going to start up here soon. Team's still setting up. They're getting their robot set up in just the right spot. Got their match loads ready. That there in the bottom left is Semicolon Robotics on the red team. They're with Excalibur, who's 7316X. And on the blue team, we see Pybotics and Freedom Gladiators. Freedom Gladiators being 4082B, which you might know if you've watched some videos on this channel recently. And Pybotics, another really good team. That's 38141B. Those guys, very solid. Not just solid, they're really good. And I'm sure you'll see more of them later. As this match, we're going to get started up yet? Come on. Get going. I should edit this out. Them putting in their preloads, getting everything ready. They're talking, I guess. I don't know. Time's a wasting. Okay. Game one starting up. Oh, there we go. All right. Let's see who wins this auto. This is going to be a very important part of this game. We see Semicolon Robotics pointed at that neutral goal pointed right to us. They grab that. And what was that? 4082B is actually able to beat Excalibur for that neutral goal. And so now blue team is up in goals. This is very good for them. Currently, they don't have possession of their alliance goal down at the bottom, but they're up in neutral goals, and neutral goals are really what count. Because if they can push this advantage, they can just win the entire game just by holding these goals. Let's see what they do here. 4082B immediately darting down to the bottom of the arena and grabbing that neutral goal. Right now, we see Excalibur trying to challenge Pybotics for that goal they have, but Pybotics moving around very nicely, able to dodge their grab attempts as Semicolon Robotics looks like they had a misgrab. They have to drop that neutral goal and re-grab it. Nice defense from Pybotics, just kind of putting some pressure on Semicolon Robotics as, oh, right there, we almost saw Excalibur steal that goal from the Freedom Gladiators, that 4082B team, and blue team already filling up their goals with rings. Red team not on that array. It looks like they're going to have to use match loads. Rings are pretty scarce in the arena right now, being gobbled up by those blue team's ring mechs. As blue team just going to play very defensively. Seems like Semicolon does not want to drop that goal to steal a goal from the Freedom Gladiators, but Freedom Gladiators content just sitting there and doing nothing. As we see a little battle up there in the top right corner with Pybotics versus Excalibur, but Excalibur not able to get to that goal. That's not going to work out down there for Semicolon. He's going to try to use that goal to steal the big neutral goal. There we go. Now, finally, we see Excalibur give up on that, and they're going to move to the bottom. Right as Semicolon pull out, there's going to be a 1v1 right there, and they're not able to steal the goal. Last 30 seconds now. Both teams have incredibly quick park. It's just going to be up to the parks now, but it seems like there's just not enough rings on the red side. They didn't spend enough time getting rings, so even if they would park and put goals on the platform right now, they're not going to have enough points. They're going to go for this double park. A lot of respect being shown by the blue team. They're going for every single goal on the platform. Going to secure themselves the win right now. And the only reason they would do that is if they expect their opponents to go for a double park and their opponents go for the double park and get it. Wow! Red team get a double park. And blue team, they actually expected that and got enough goals on the platform anyways to have them win this with that 254. Because if they didn't get that blue goal on the platform and the red team had another goal filled up, they could have actually won that game. But insane amount of respect for the skill on the red side from that blue team. They go for a bit of more risky play, putting all the goals on the platform with a robot, and it works out in the end as they win that match. Very nice match from them. All right, let's move on to game two, as that blue alliance with Freedom Gladiators and Pybotics takes the first game. Here we are in the second game of this series, with the Blue Alliance, that's Freedom Gladiators and Pybotics, currently leading 1-0 in a best-of-3 against Semicolon and Excalibur. Right now, setting up their auto again, we see Semicolon this time on the top side of the arena, or actually, I don't know where the camera is. Yeah, they're on that top side of the arena, and they're going to be challenging. Who is that? That's Pybotics. They're going to be not even challenging them. They're going to be picking up their free goal, and it seems like Pybotics is going to go for the middle. So both of the red teams actually getting a free goal because 4082B elect to stay in the corner of this auto. Interesting. Let's see what happens here as they pan around. Is the camera going to show us? This is. I'll pause it when they show an actual shot of the auto so we can talk about what's happening here with the auto before the match starts. Because the autos have been very important in this match. We saw last match that the blue team pretty much won just off of the auto. So here, the auto starts up right here. They do a little fade. But the blue team won just off the auto because their auto just possessed more goals than they could just hoard for the entire game, and red team wasn't able to steal them back. Anyways, here we go. We see the auto. So it seems like 4082B just kind of sitting in the corner for the auto while their Alliance Pybotics goes for the middle, leaving 2 uncontested goals for the red team. Let's see how this works out for them as the auto starts. So we see there, Semicolon Robotics' clamp doesn't work. It actually misgrabs, and they're not able to get that neutral goal, but their Alliance Excalibur is able to get the goal, and they're actually beat out completely on rings by the Blue Alliance. I mean, that the Blue Alliance is going to win this auto with Pybotics almost filling up that goal just in the auto, which is really nice for them because now you don't have to spend the rest of the game getting rings. As we see immediately, Semicolon Robotics darting over, grabbing that neutral goal, but great defense out of Pybotics to block them. They're not able to get that goal, and they're just trying to create an opening right now for their teammate 4082B, the Freedom Gladiators, to grab that goal. Both of the Alliance goals for the blue side left on their side as 4082B just trying to wrestle control this goal. Now we see Excalibur not exactly grabbing it, but they're just going to try to block because they already are holding onto a goal and they don't want to drop that. Semicolon kind of floundering around looking for a way into that goal, and it's just mostly going to be about this goal right here because whoever can possess that neutral is going to be up a lot. But Semicolon find a nice opening as they notice that Pybotics has dropped their neutral goal and they steal that big neutral goal, and while that's happening, they're also dropping their red goal, and their red goal is now stolen back from that Blue Alliance, from that Pybotics team, and so they're now possessing that red goal. Very even match right now in goals. It seems like it's just going to be about rings and parking at this point as that Blue Alliance drops the red goal up there in the corner. Interesting spot to put it. Very hard to get, obviously. And super even in goals right now, in possession in terms of goals, because both sides have a pretty much equal amount of goals, with one of the goals being taken out of the play, and the red side possessing one more neutral goal. Neutral goals, of course, being effectively worth more points, but since they're missing one of their Alliance goals, they're worth less. And that means that they're actually denied rings. And rings are worth a lot in these kinds of games where they're ties. But it seems like in the end right now, it's really going to depend on the parks. The last 15 seconds, not a lot of time to park. These teams have waited way too long. 10 seconds left. It seems like anyone who's going to be able to park is going to be able to pretty much take this match as the Blue Alliance messes up their park, and red team, we see Excalibur there with an incredibly quick park while Semicolon puts that goal on the platform. What a game. That was fast. That was a really fast game. Hard to talk about. But pretty much what we saw in that game is we saw a very dead even game until like the last 15 seconds where both teams just kind of had to panic park, and it seems like the Freedom Gladiators, 4082B, kind of choked on their park and weren't able to do it. So, red team able to take that game 173-90 with their actual park. Very nice from them. Pretty close game. Now the series is tied up. That's 1-1 as red team wins game 2. Let's get on to the next game. Here we are in the final game of the series. This is the tiebreaker as the auto gets set up. This time both teams on the blue side going to be relevant in the auto, with Semicolon challenging the Freedom Gladiators for that neutral goal closest to the camera, that bottom one. And this is an interesting challenge because we see Semicolon has a goal cover. They have a little cover that goes over the goal, and that's going to stop the clamp of the other team from being able to grab onto the goal. In terms of the other auto placements, we see Pybotics going to go for that middle goal, probably going to get it uncontested, and Excalibur going for that top goal, and they're also uncontested. So it's all going to be about this bottom goal. Let's see what happens here in the auto while they still set up. Seems like everyone's ready, and Autonomous is going to begin. Wow, okay, so it seems like Semicolon's cover didn't actually, it worked kind of, but it didn't work enough as that goal is stuck there in the middle because they weren't able to drag it to their side. It's kind of leaning right now on the blue side as driver control is going to begin here. This is going to be very important. We're going to have another little goal rush here. Who can get to that goal fastest? Could Semicolon maybe use their goal cover again? I don't know. And they both drive immediately, but a little bit of a misgrab as 4082B is able to grab that neutral goal. Right now, Blue Alliance up on goals, up on rings. They're completely up in this game, and it's going to be up to Red right now to try to make up that loss by grabbing a goal. Because Blue Alliance, currently, they have everything in their favor. In this last game, it's very important right now for Red to be able to steal one of these goals, as we see both Excalibur and Semicolon just try to push in there. Right now, Excalibur holding that goal, refusing to drop it. They're just going to try to push, I guess, as Semicolon gets a little grab, but oh, they missed that goal. 4082B winning. We see some really very nice shielding from Pybotics right there in that corner, shielding their alliance from getting their goal grab. Semicolon just only going for that 4082B goal. I guess they think they can probably beat that clamp better. They get a grab on that, but they get tipped over and must bring their lift down. They lose that clamp again, kind of running out of pneumatical power right now probably. And it seems like they're having a lot of trouble. They're having a lot of trouble right now getting those goals. 40 seconds left, 10 seconds left until they have to retreat because they risk touching the platform because you can't touch the platform there. Pybotics already moving out of that corner. They're getting ready for the last 30 seconds, and Blue Alliance has pretty much won it at this point, unless we see something miraculous coming out of the red team. They're already going for their park. They're going to go for it very early. Just going to do a one robot park, and of course, again, respecting their opponent a lot, they're going to put other goals on the platform. As Pybotics elect to fill up that goal with the red side, they're going to go for a double park. That's the only way they can win this. Even then, though, they don't really have enough rings on the goals to do that, while Pybotics put that goal right on the end, and that secured it for them. They just won. They just won the Kalahari Classic Finals. That's going to secure them a world spot. Absolutely class gameplay out of them right there. Very good defense. They won. They didn't really win the auto, but they won that goal rush there. Possessed their neutral goals for the rest of the game. Very nice gameplay coming out of that Blue Alliance. Very nice gameplay coming out of the Red Alliance, too, throughout the entire series, but it was just all about that last game, and Semicolon just wasn't able to clinch that goal right there in the end. Great series overall. Great robots. Stay tuned for an analysis of these games. I'm probably going to analyze one or two of these. Talk about what happens in these super high-level games where all these teams have to play very passively and kind of how they do that. But for now, GG's. Very nice games.